Greetings from the Biomechatronics Research Team. Today we will present the development of a leg motion intent classifier using brain-computer interfaces and machine learning. The Biomechatronics Research Team members are Arianis Martinez Fuentes, Alexandra Cuevas Plaza, Luis Rivera Cruz, Manuel Umaña Rodríguez, Kelvin Estrada Soto, José Cohen Cancel, and me, Maria Marrero Ortiz, also the leader of the team.
We as a research group identified that many people missing lower limb nerve terminations do not have access to robotic prosthetics. This is a problem that affects millions of people since 2005 because these robotic prosthetics do not provide a solution for all persons with lower limb amputations because they require the use of electromyography. Electromyography, also called ENG, is an electrodiagnostic technique for evaluating and recording electrical activity produced by the muscles, which also uses the nerve terminations. With this problem in mind, the Biomechatronic Research Group proposes a study of electroencephalographic signals to predict the intent of movement of lower limbs using these signals and provide movement to a prosthesis using machine learning. Electroencephalography is another electrodiagnostic technique for recording and evaluating electrical activity, but this time produced by the brain. This way, we can classify these signals and enable a prosthesis that helps lower limbs amputees without nerve terminations have a prosthesis that helps them move using a non-invasive method.
We want to incorporate brain signals to assist technology devices for mobility rehabilitation. The main way the problem is looking to be solved is by incorporating devices that read brainwaves of the user. This should be done with electroencephalography signals, or EEG signals for short, that will be recorded into a device and later processed into command controls. After the EEG signals are processed into command controls, those same controls will be used to determine lower limb intent of movement for a robotic prosthesis that will provide physical movement to the user.
The design of the system is based on a classical brain-computer interface system. In this one, we have our four main layers. The first layer is the collection of brain signals, a process that we achieve through encephalography. The collected brain signals must be conditioned to remove ambient noise and signals from other parts of the body that are not of interest to our experiment. This processing takes place in the second layer. Then, in the third layer, the extraction of the characteristics of the signal is carried out where mathematical operations are executed to find the most informative areas for the next layer. Finally, in the fourth layer, the classification is done. This consists of taking the process data and, based on previous training, an algorithm determines the type of movement that the patient's signals show. The results of the classification must be translated into a format in which the equipment that will be used as a prosthesis can understand.
The EEG electrocap kit will be used to record the EEG signals together with the open BCI board. This headset has 21 different channels to detect EEG signals and possesses a sampling frequency of 250 Hz. It is used with coated silver electrodes and electrode gel in order to be able to collect data from people. The information collected by the helmet is sent to the computer wirelessly, and it is visualized using a user interface developed by OpenBCI.
Besides the electroencephalogram signals, we want to obtain the angle of the knee during the leg's movement. That's why we will use a knee encoder. The current model consists of a potentiometer, model B50K, attached to a cardboard and connected to an Arduino. The use of the potentiometer came up after finding out that it has an established starting position that does not require constant calibration like the previous model with a rotary encoder. After calibration with a linear regression, an improvement of 1 degree in the precision versus 9 was obtained using the potentiometer instead of the rotary encoder.
The team has developed a graphical user interface to facilitate the data collection process. In this interface, the researcher will be able to enter relevant information that can help to better classify the intention of movement. The information collected cannot be used to identify a person. A program we call BioStream has also been developed, which is responsible for synchronizing the data from the helmet and the knee encoder.
After much literature review, we came to the conclusion that working with EEG signals involves dealing with noise and interferences caused by different reasons like the ocular movement, the muscles, the EEG equipment, the electrodes, the subject's hair, the subject's thought, talking, breathing, among many other things. So during the data collection process, we want the least amount of noise and interference possible, which is why we decided to use a presentation named Motion Intent Data Collection that contains graphics such as GIFs or pictures that will display what we expect the subject to think or do in order to collect the data.
Now we will present the task in which our group is currently working.
We're currently working with Unity to be able to test the accuracy of the algorithm and help us determine if the algorithm is working correctly, so that the implementation of the physical model there are no problems with the algorithm. Our knee encoder version 2 was made of cardboard and did not have a universal size, so we decided to update it and create a 3D printable design to increase the precision and facilitate the placement on the legs. This will help us collect our measurements more accurately. We're also working on the use of wavelets for signal processing. This tool provides an application for denoising EEG signal artifacts and keep valuable signal features that will be classified later on. Additionally, we're studying concepts in generative adversarial networks, known as GANs. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, data collection has been almost impossible to achieve for us. That is why we propose to generate and use synthetic data collection to train our classification model in order to compensate for the little or no data that we'll be able to collect for the moment. We're studying machine learning concepts in order to build a model to predict the intention of motion based on EEG signals received. We're also working on the design of a universal lower limb modular prosthetic. For the first stage, we'll work on the creation of a sketch. The second stage will transfer the design into a CAD software for further development.
Our future plans include the integration of the work discussed before, collection of lower limb motion intent data with the EEG electrode cap, and the development and evaluation of different classification models for lower limb motion intent. This concludes our presentation. Thank you.